Hey everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the 3 steps to reducing financial stress. Now, listen, doesn't matter how much money you have, you are probably dealing with some stress in this area. This comes from a general lack of confidence or a lack of awareness about what's happening with your finances. Maybe you feel like you're out of control. Now, listen, I have been in every financial situation you can probably imagine, or just about. From being unhoused and food insecure to actually making financial decisions with a much more financially free perspective. And I have to tell you that time and time again, these exact same issues come up. And if you just know how to do these 3 steps, you will understand how to approach your finances with confidence, how to feel like you're in control, and how to know exactly what you need to do next financially. So, wherever you are on the financial spectrum, I want you to know that this is for you. So, the number one step is we're going to create clarity. So, step one is just to know what's going on. What do you have going out? What do you have coming in? But in addition to that, the other thing that you need to be thinking about is how are you earning the money coming in? What are you trading for? Are you trading time? Are you trading energy? Do you want to be trading that much time and energy? Really understanding what your income is and understanding what your spending looks like with the lens of what does this all mean to me, right? Because earning money is not free, it's not simple for most of us. It requires some sort of transaction that maybe or maybe not we want to be engaging in. And so, really thinking about how much time am I spending earning money? Do I want to be spending that much time earning money? Where am I earning and where am I spending? And is my spending impacted by my earning, right? Because that's a thing. Like a lot of times, I know people who commute, for example, for work or who travel for work, and they have a lot of expenses involved in their travel, in actually earning money. They have a lot of expenses involved there. Maybe you have childcare expenses, things like that. So your money, right, is not coming to you without an exchange of something else. And understanding what that other thing is will really help you as you go forward into steps 2 and 3 to create that confidence that you need and to give you a big picture of what's happening financially so you can reduce your financial stress. I cannot tell you the number of times I have talked to people who are working 2 jobs and who actually find out that they only need to be working one, or that the job that they work less hours costs them less money and therefore has a better return, meaning they don't have to pay for all day childcare. They don't have to commute to it. And so the money that they earn from it isn't costing them as much. And that is the better choice for them. So really get clear about what you're spending, what you're bringing in, and what you are trading for what you are bringing in. Number 2 is find what matters. Creating clarity about what matters most to us is very, very important. A lot of times in our budget, when we look at our budget, we tend to sort things by category, like housing or utilities or food or travel or discretionary. And while that can be helpful, in my opinion, it's not as helpful as understanding which of those things matters to you and in what ways they matter, especially when we start getting into some of the more discretionary funding, right? It matters a lot to me to budget for very healthy food at the grocery store. That might not matter as much to you. Travel does not matter as much to me. So, me understanding what matters to me and what I'm willing to work more for or what I am willing to make sacrifices for is important. I personally use a method I created that is called the EPD method. I get into it in detail in my Take Control of Your Money course. I also use it for time and household management. Now, if you haven't taken the Take Control of Your Money course, I want you to know that it's offered free inside Inner Circle, and it is one module of the Take Control of Your Life set of courses that are aimed to help you reduce stress in the 5 most stressful areas of life: health, money, home, um, time and relationships. Boy, that took me a minute to come up with. But it has this great workbook and it'll help you create that clarity piece and then go through and evaluate what matters most to you in your spending. And it'll give you a lot of clarity so that you can start making decisions and adjustments with full knowledge. Because step 3 is to create alignment. What we want to do when we're creating alignment is we want to make sure that where we're spending or how we're earning aligns with what we want in our lives. We want to make sure that we are making choices that are intentional and mindful and reflect our values. So, this is not a space of judgment. This is a space of awareness. If you, unlike me, love traveling, you want to set aside a lot of money for traveling, you're willing to work more so that you have more time down the road to travel, or you are willing to take on a second job in the winter to save money for summer travel. You love designer bags. You want to have designer bags. You're willing to work an extra job for that. Or you're willing to make other adjustments to your lifestyle. Like maybe you want to live in a smaller house. Maybe you don't want to drive a new car. You want to drive a used car so that you can reassign that money or reallocate that money toward the things that you value most, that matter most to you, right? Now, we like to think that, the things that we value are spending time with our family and traveling, and that we don't care about all of these consumer goods, but we are very indoctrinated, right? And very imposed upon, especially by social media in the 21st century, to have a lot of these things. Oftentimes, we have normalized spending on things that don't necessarily align with our values because it seems like it's what everyone is doing. When we take the time to create clarity and then to figure out what matters and then to intentionally line these things up, we now know what we really want from our financial picture. And knowing that helps us build confidence, it helps us make wise choices, and it reduces financial stress. Now, listen, some of you are like, Cassie, you said this would apply to me too. Yes, it does apply to you too. Even if you are living on an incredibly fixed income, understanding what your first priorities are to pay for matters. Now, when I was living in a space of being on a very fixed income, housing was really important to me. So I lived in a very inexpensive place, right? I found a place that was pretty cheap, but I always made sure my rent was paid. And a lot of times I did that by taking from other budgets, right? A lot of times I was like, yeah, I'm going to bed instead of turning those lights on because I can't afford a bigger light bill. This is the reality of living inside of a fixed income. There were places where I was thinking, I definitely have to get a second job. Do I want to trade my time for money? No, but I can't make my bills. I can't pay for the bare essentials. And a lot of times we feel pressured to take on that second job or to take on a side hustle. And that's not really what we want to be doing. Sometimes that is actually optional. And when you have clarity, you figure out what matters, and you're looking to create alignment, you can really see, is this optional or not? How much do I really need to work to make those ends meet, to have the things covered that matter most to me? And you can think about, I love this and I want it and I'm willing to work more hours to have it. The most important thing isn't how much money do you have in the bank. It isn't how much money do you have coming in. It's creating alignment. I know a lot of people who have access to a pretty big income and are still struggling with financial stress because they haven't gone through the steps of creating clarity, finding what matters, and creating alignment. And they are spending on things that don't matter to them. And they're stressed about how they're going to pay bills or how they're going to pay for the things that do matter because they don't really have awareness of what's happening in their finances. So don't let that happen to you. Create clarity. Figure out how much you have coming in. how much you have going out, and what you're trading for that income. Figure out what matters. Use the EPD method. Please get an inner circle and use that method. It is so simple, so easy. It will give you so much insight and clarity. Use the EPD method. Find out what are the things that you absolutely, in your mind, must have, must pay for. How much do those things cost? What are the things that you'd really like to have, they matter to you? And what are the things that you're like, that's nice, but it's not that big of a deal, right? I always hear people oversimplify this and say that one of those things, as an example, is stopping at Starbucks every day, grabbing a coffee on the way to work. But here's the thing, if that's something that you love, if that's the thing that gets you going, if that's the thing that feels like the reward for your day and it is really important to you, that's okay. You don't have to give it up. You don't have to give it up. You just need to understand that that is where you are choosing to intentionally dedicate some resource, right? Because it matters to you. And for you, there's a payoff there. And number 3 is, again, create alignment. Do not judge yourself about the things that matter to you that maybe don't matter to somebody else. Don't get into this spin out of, I should give up that Starbucks every day. Don't do that. Instead, create the alignment that works so that you can feel confident, so that you can feel like you're in control of your finances, so that you know what's coming in, what's going out, and how does that reflect your values. And as things change, or if things change, you know exactly where you can make adjustments. You know exactly where you can earn more or spend less. You know. Your financial situation should reflect your lifestyle, your preferences, your values, not mine, not Dave Ramsey's, not some financial gurus. Okay? That's not what it's about. Once you get into this space, it becomes a lot easier for you to start asking yourself some of the tougher questions like, does carrying this much debt align with my values? Is that stressing me out? How could I eliminate it? What can I do? Or does not taking my kids to Disney World stress me out? What can I do to make that happen? So that what I'm doing with my money, the choices I'm making with this resource, is a reflection of who I am. Makes me feel good, makes me feel aware. And even if you should find out, let's say you are like I was, and you find out that there's just no way, and you're going to have to get on to that second job, you will know though, this is how much I need to make. This is how many extra hours I need to work. This is how long I'll need to do this for. Right? And that will make it easier for you to make the wise choices for your life and reduce the stress instead of feeling like you never know what's going on and you don't feel like you understand it. This will help you reduce the stress. In addition, I talked about this live in Inner Circle, and a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, that's so true. It will also help you to identify the spaces where you tend to, now this one is really for moms because moms do this so often, where you tend to spend income on things that other people in your home want while not giving yourself the things that you need. Because you will be able to identify, yeah, my kid wants those UGG boots, but I need a new pair of tennis shoes. And you will be able to confidently make those choices without the guilt. And I think that we all need a little bit of that. Be sure to check out Inner Circle. Get in there and check out the Take Control of Your Life series of courses currently available. Take control of your money and take control of your health. We're rolling them out every couple weeks. So if you get in there, you have time to complete the course before the next one comes. And I am just telling you right now, we have had so many amazing testimonials from people that have had incredible changes in their finances, including the ability to quit their jobs once they did this, realizing what was actually happening financially, the ability to quit their job, invest full time in their side business. We've had people get promotions and change work positions because they knew exactly what they needed and they were able to confidently go for it. We've had people reap all kinds of benefits from the Take Control of Your Life series and just feel less overwhelmed, less stressed, more confident, and far more capable of designing the life that they want. Here at UA, we are all about helping you upcycle your real life into your best life by creating healthy habits, overcoming obstacles like stress and overwhelm, and growing to accomplish your goals. So if you want to live the best life you can, you're in the right place. Do not forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you all in Inner Circle. Bye, everyone.